Hey everyone. Okay, never mind how messy my hair is. I just woke up. So before I get started, uh, last night, well actually, like yesterday in the afternoon, we deep scrubbed my floor. So it's carpet. So we had to rent out like a one of those high power vacuums with a shampoo and shit. So we deep cleaned it. But part of that deal was having to get rid of everything on my floor and putting it up somewhere. And I thought I had gotten everything, but there was a bunch of stuff in my under my bed that I needed to get out, and so I just got an empty box and just dumped it there. And I was like, okay, I gotta go to work. I'll just take care of this when I get home. So now, um, I started on it last night. I managed to clear off the bed so I could sleep, but I'm digging through this now, and I rediscovered my AP Biology notebook, and boy, oh, let me just put the phone down for a second. I remember AP classes. They're this is the concept of the video, by the way. AP classes are a fucking scam, and let me tell you why. As any college person will tell you. So no one watches these videos, but if you do, if anyone does watch this video and you know a high schooler going through high school right now and they're like, I'm gonna take some AP classes, let me tell you some of the pros and cons about it. Because I only know, well, I mean, of course I knew everyone in the AP class, but I don't know a lot of people that enjoyed an AP class, or like at the very least, there is a very distinct pro and con to it. The one pro is if you pass that class, you don't have to take that class in college. That those credits can transfer over, but you have to make sure that the school you're going to is willing to take them in the first place. But here's why I believe they're a scam. All right, I've taken to 2, 3, 4 years of college, and I have never, in the entirety of my 4 years, taken enough notes to fill up a whole giant binder of work. This is for my AP biology class. This is insane. This is ridiculous. I love this class. I love this teacher. I actually think she's a pretty great teacher. I actually enjoyed this class a lot. It was pretty difficult, but that's the point, right? It's an AP class. The thing is, though, you go to college and like the classes are nowhere near this hard. In fact, just I don't know. I guess the idea here is that if you're taking a college class in high school, they don't know. The high school has no idea what the college wants you to go over, so they're gonna try to go over everything. Um, and again, the idea is if you pass this in high school, you don't have to take it in college. Um, the scam here is that those college credits only counts towards certain colleges, I think. I mean, I'm pretty sure they could count through any college, but I'm not sure. But the real scam here is the idea that they sell this on you by saying, oh, if you take it in high school, you won't have to pay for it. But they make you pay for a test at the end of the year anyway. Back when I took it, tests were around $75 or $90 a test, which is insane. Uh, that's around, I mean, that's a lot cheaper than a regular 3 or 4 course class, 3 or 4 unit class, at least in the college where I'm going. But I feel like the amount of stress that you'll experience in these classes are not nearly the costs outweigh the benefits of it, because the amount of so in the college that I'm going to, classes are 2 days a week, and science classes usually range for around maybe 2 to 3 hours each. So let's say 6 hours, right? And 6 hours over the course of 2 days gives you a bit more time to actually process that information, and actually gives you more free time to do any work outside of class. The problem here is when you go to a high school, high school classes are 5 days a week, back to back to back to back to back, and AP classes will assign you mountains of homework, lots of research, just to get you ready for that. And I just think it's insane. They grade you on fucking everything. You know, look, I've got like little thingies, dividers for the binder. I have never been this organized in any of my classes. And granted, maybe I should be, but at the same time, none of those classes have ever demanded that, and it's not to say that my college classes are like bullshit. They can be pretty hard. Some of them can be pretty demanding. Like one of my psychology classes, I did need to do a bunch of research on things. But the problem here is, I distinctly remember, hold on. Let me open this up. So there's a section here called assignment sheet, and I'm looking at it here. Oh my god. So I believe, if I remember this grades every single assignment I've ever done in the class, but it doesn't even look like. Oh, okay. Oh, so it is everything. But, like, it looks like that. And every single one of these is an assignment. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's 9 pages long. It's 9 pages of this shit. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Let's say 20. That's around 180. It's like 189. If I'm doing that math correctly, 21 times 9. Yeah, that's like 189 homework assignments. And I don't even know. Okay, no, the lab and the tests and stuff is on here. So 189 homeworks over the course of 2 semesters. Which is insane. I mean, maybe it doesn't sound like a lot for some people, but consider the fact that a lot of people that are motivated to take an AP classes are motivated to take more than one AP class. So they're doing like this level of work for multiple classes. And that's not to say that all AP classes are created equally. Some are more demanding than others. But more often than not, when you take an AP class, the amount of the level of scrutiny in terms of like your work is insane. I didn't even finish everything that's on here. Some of these are left blank. I just the level of demand. Oh, those are all extra credit. I was like, why are there a bunch of zeros here? It's extra credit. The level of demand that the work requires is stupid, you know. And granted, I should have made this video a little bit early, but I didn't have to clean my room early. But for anyone that is taking an AP class or whatever, or is thinking of taking an AP class, highly reconsider. Do your research. It's the same thing as taking a college class. You want to do your research before you actually take that course, because what you're trading off, you know, is it's a hard class, sure, that you might not have to take in college, but if you fail that class because it's too hard for you, not only did you already pay that premium of like $75 or $90 for that test, but if you fail that, those college courses don't even count for you. Like, you fail those, which means you're gonna have to take them anyway. So you've just wasted $75 to $90 to take that test, and then wasted your time going through the whole year stressing out about this shit. Because honestly, that AP Bio class specifically, I thought I had that shit down. And I just got slightly below the score that I needed. I don't even know, but I do know that I was just under the required to pass it. I don't know by how much, but I do know that I didn't pass it. So I did all these notes. You'd think maybe that I would know what I was doing if I took all these notes, right? I just wanna show it again, just because it's the heaviest shit I've ever had to carry. you know, this fucking thing. I had to carry this with. I had to have this on me every day. I don't think I had to bring it with me every day. I think the teacher was actually nice about it and like let us keep it in the classroom. But the fact that we actually had to make accommodations because the teacher knew that the binder was going to end up like this is insane. It's stupid. The fact that we expect this from like 17-year-olds, maybe even younger. I think the youngest one that can take the test is around like maybe 15 or 16 years old. Um, unless you're my friend who skipped a bunch of grades, but whatever. But regardless, the idea that you expect this level of dedication to a single class to a teenager is frankly stupid, you know? So, I don't know. I'm cleaning and I just saw this binder and I just felt so motivated to be like, oh my god, the horrors of AP classes. I mean, not to say that all AP classes were awful, but the only other story I have that comes to mind, because I only took a handful of AP classes, but the only other class that I remember is my A-Push class, which is Advanced Placement United States History. And I promise this video's getting long, but I promise this is the last thing I'm going to talk about. But I used to love history a lot, so I had a pretty great teacher. He taught when I was a sophomore, 10th grade. When I was a sophomore, I took his world history class, and I remember enjoying history so much because of that. I mean, like I've always liked history. Um, Side note, that's kind of why I really like the Assassin's Creed game was because they took place in historical places. But that's also why I hate Assassin's Creed, because of how they bend the rules. But I liked his world history class so much that I decided to take his AP US history class, his A-Push class. And boy, do I hate history now. Partly because, one, because US history is really boring. Number two, the way that the class was handled was every day it was projector notes on the entire textbook, and then every week, every day was a section, and every week was a chapter, and that was like non-stop. So non-stop, in fact, that we actually reached the very end of the book. And I don't know if it's just me, but I've never finished a fucking book in any of my classes. Like like in any of my, like, in any textbook that's divided up into chapters or whatever, we've never gone to the final chapter of the book and actually read the very end of it. But we managed to not only finish the book, but because the placement tests are around a month or two before the end of the actual year, we were able to finish it in a small amount of time. And boy, the journey there was insane. And I did pass that class because I did like history, but after that, I was so burnt out that I hated taking history classes. It was just not that it wasn't interesting to me anymore, but like I just remember the struggle. It's infuriating. So be mindful of the AP classes you're taking. Do a bit of research into it. I know it's like a waste of time, and I don't even know if they let you do this in high school, but like I would say take the regular class first and then take the AP class, just so that you have an idea of what you're going into. I don't know. I don't want to say I'm denouncing all AP classes, but like I said at the beginning of this video, the costs outweigh the benefits by a lot, and the idea that you expect this from someone who is taking maybe 5 or 6 other classes and then maybe doing a team sport at the same time is insane. I lied. I have one more story. Back in sorry, I promise this video is gonna be over soon. Back in high school during my senior year, I took an AP government class. And part of the motivation of that was I did not want to take a government class with people who did not want to learn. I did not want to be put in the environment where I was going to get stuck with the teacher who's trying to assign the work, and I'm surrounded by a bunch of assholes who do not want to do the work, and then the teacher is going to have like a short temper that does not want to deal with it. So I decided to just stay in the AP government class. And what came out of that was the teacher would assign a mountain of work. He would not grade half of it. And by the end of the year, he had the audacity to give me a D minus. It's the lowest grade I've ever received in a professional class. I got an F from PE once, but that's because I refused to do the written work because I was being a rebellious little sixth grader. But I got a D fucking minus. And that is after doing the notes. That is after doing the work, putting in the work and everything. It was just, I don't know, the summer work. That's another thing. You're required to do homework over the summer for an AP class. He did not even get around to grading that until a couple months after that. So, at least from in my head, I was just trying to show him the same level of professionalism that he was giving me, in the sense that if you're not going to bother to grade the work that I worked hard on, then why should I take all your other shit seriously? The fact that you assign this, and this, and then you only grade them when you have the time, maybe that says something more about the way you're teaching the class and less about my ability to focus. So, or sorry, not my ability to focus, my ability to retain the information that you're trying to teach me, because I understand that it is a lot of material we have to go over, but if the fact that what you're doing isn't working, I hate those teachers that are like famous for their low passing grades. That doesn't mean you're a tough teacher. That just means you love failing kids. So I don't know. I just and I remember it, between failing that class and losing out on money, I just decided to like lose the money because what is it? The other thing is, his thing was, if you don't take that AP test, I'm gonna make you take the same test and have it count towards your grade instead. And so I decided, I was already barely getting my head above the water at that point, and so I just decided I'll just take the test, and I already knew I was gonna fail it, but I just took it. That way, that way I didn't that way I didn't have to worry about failing that class. And remember earlier I said that the AP test is around like a month or two before the semester actually ends. So government is actually only supposed to encompass one semester. The other semester is supposed to be an economics class, but because the economics class is in the same semester that the government class is, he just decided to do government 80% of the year, and then the last month or two we did economics. And so he managed to squeeze out one last project for us after the AP test, with the promise that those papers would make it into our grades. Last day of school, he was grading papers. This motherfucker, the grading period was closed. People were getting their papers to, people were walking around classes to get their papers signed off so that they could get, to see if they were going to pass or not, if they could walk. He was grading papers. Like, it's too late, dude. Like, whatever grades you're trying to grade right now, does not count towards our grades. You think we did this on a moral basis? No, I did those papers, and he had a fucking test at the end of the year. I studied for that test because I thought it was going to count towards my grade, and then it didn't. So he just wasted my fucking time. I could have just bullshitted around and not taken him, and I would have gotten the same grade that I got. I just, I just think it's insane. And the fact that when he gave me my little paper, he had the audacity to be dramatic about it and then hand it to me and go, "It was very close." I'll never fucking forget that. He took my paper, paused, and very slowly wrote the grade, and he just goes, "It was very close." And I just, at that time, I was just like, I wanted to pass. I was just like, "Thank you so much." But looking back on it more and more and more, actually, as soon as I walked out the door, I was like, "Fuck that guy." Like, I do not have any fond memories of his class or whatever. The fact that um, the fact that he had the audacity to act like such a dick towards me in that regard was completely unprofessional, and I don't respect that. But at the end of the day, it's your choice to take this AP class. But all I'm saying is, as someone who tried really hard to be an overachiever, I was met with a brick wall that I was told to scale barehanded, and I was given no assistance whatsoever. So, uh, do your research, make a lot of considerations before you take that AP class. And again, I know no one watches these videos, and I know these videos are late. Sorry, this video specifically is late. It's like November. If you were thinking of taking an AP class, it would be for next year, and by that point, you will already have forgotten this video. But regardless, if this video does happen to hit you at the right time, consider taking a regular class. And I do know the idea that you want to take that AP class because you don't want to be stuck in maybe you're going to a pretty bad high school where the kids don't particularly listen or whatever, and you want to be in an environment where you can actually sit down and learn. I understand that. That's what I did. But bear in mind that depending on the teacher, you might have your work cut out for you. But that's it. That's all I got to say in the matter. I gotta finish cleaning this shit up, and then I have to go to class, and then I have a Halloween party to go to. So, happy Halloween. This is my Halloween fucking video. It's talking about AP classes. That's it for me. Yeah, I'm gonna go. Have a safe Halloween, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.